Hello everybody out there in YouTube land, this is Tyler. I am coming with another video request, and this is from the same individual named Mr. Urban World. I don't know if I pronounced your name right or if that's your nickname, Mr. Urban World, but I solemnly thank you for asking me to do a video request pertaining to how to deal with an individual who rarely calls you and then come asking you for favors. And I'm not just only doing it for this particular person's sake, but for every single person's sake out there that is looking for an accurate answer pertaining to this particular question. And I just want to go on ahead to get started. That you know how sometimes that a lot of people are when it comes to calling you. In other words, particular people that don't even call on you and check on you on a daily or a weekly basis. And then this is the mindset of a lot of people in society today. I know that it sucks, but it's like that. And you know the reason why is because we as a society don't even have a tribal mentality, looking out after for one another, not having a selfish or a self-centered mentality towards each other. But in this society today, that you only find people calling you whenever they want something, and this just is like every 4 or 5 months whenever they want something. Now, I'm just going to go on ahead and how to deal with this particular individual. That if this particular individual, you know that rarely calls you, maybe 4 out of 5 months, but that person just conversating you very shortly and everything, and then this particular person sit there and ask you, well, I want a favor from you. I need a favor from you real badly. That now, the first time if that person asks you for that favor and everything, yes, it's fine to do that particular favor for them, but sit back and watch that particular person, if that particular person is going to appreciate you or not. That's the first thing that you need to do, if that person does appreciate you or not. Now, if that person comes out of the blue and appreciates you from the bottom of their heart, that you was a very kind person and everything by their words or whatever, and that particular person meant it and everything like that, because you don't find a lot of people when you do favors for them, they don't go out their way and to appreciate you or to say thank you or anything like that. You don't find that in that day and time. But if you find a particular person that go out their way and appreciating you and saying thank you for doing this for you, and then that particular person is deeply appreciating you from the bottom of their heart, then in other words, it's okay to go back and do something for them again, or go out their way doing something for them. But if that person does not appreciate you doing a favor for them or going out your way for them, but in other words, you have the right to stop doing things for them. Because I'm going to sit here, I'm going to tell you something. An ungrateful person and an unappreciative person will always be an ungrateful individual, what someone has done for them. You have the right to not do anything else for them. You have the right not to do anything else for them, because ungrateful people will give you a lot of heartache and pain, because only thing that their mindset is focused on is complaining all the time. That, well, whenever you done something for them, then that particular individual complain about how he or she didn't like it at all. But when a person show that type of ungratefulness, don't do anything else for them. Don't go out of the way for them at all. If they have the nerve enough to complain, or he or she has the nerve enough to complain. And I'm just going to sit here and I'm just going to tell you that if this is rarely that particular individual does it, always look very closely if that person appreciates you or not. But if that person does not go out of their way to appreciate you, and that person always complaining, and then always sitting there moaning, and then sitting there say how he or she didn't like how you did that, then in other words, don't do anything else for them. Because this is something that I do. I'm just telling you from my own experience. If I see a person that did not appreciate what I have done for them, I'm not going to continue laying down for them. I'm not going to continue doing that. That's just going to cause a lot of heartache and pain. And then that person, only thing that particular individual who was ungrateful is just going to just sit there and run over you and call every now and then like, well, I can use this particular person for a favor every now and then and I don't have to appreciate it. Cut them type of people off. Cut them off. And don't go out your way for them. But if a person does appreciate you, out of the kindness of their heart, like I was saying earlier, continue doing for them. Because, like I said, whenever a person appreciates you or whatever and everything, even though that they're not there to check on you and stuff like that, go on ahead and do it. But always watch appreciation, because this is something that I do. And I'm just going to go on ahead and sit there and say this, that another thing, depending on the situation also as well, because I almost forgot, if you know that you cannot do that for that individual and that person just comes to you rarely and asks you for a favor to do for them, then in other words, you have the right to say no. Just say no. In some situations, I have to tell particular people no. And you have a right to say no. If you know that you cannot do it and you know that you cannot go out of your way to do it, you're just going to have to learn how to say no to these particular people. I know that these particular people get pissed off at you or whatever and everything, but that's fine. But sometimes in most of the situations, if you know that you cannot do it and you know that you cannot go out of your way to do it, then in other words, say no. It ain't nothing wrong with saying no. And I'm just going to go on ahead and cut this video short. Mr. Urban World, I hope that this has answered your question to the completeness. And for every single person that has watched this video and liked this video, I give the invitation to please subscribe to this channel, because you'll receive every single week content on a weekly basis. Thank you and have a great and awesome evening or day.